Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. Let us introduction yourself. We are from Group 1. Today we would like to present the result of our discussion entitled Research Philosophy and Research Paradigm. Before we begin, I am not alone here. My name is Agan Rabathulu as the moderator, and I am accompanied by my group members Dea Kartika Natasha, Cinta Indah Amelia, and Berliana Arafat Sakina Kanaa. Let's move the first topic. Research philosophy is the basic way of thinking used by researchers to understand phenomena of research problem. In other words, before casting real research method or technique, researchers already have their own perspective about what really is, how knowledge is obtained, and what the purpose of the research is. Next, ontology. Ontology is about the nature of reality, or simple, what is considered as reality in research. There are two main perspectives. First realism, which assumes that reality is real, objective, and can be measured directly. Second, constructivist, which assumes that reality is formed by human experience, perception, and social interaction. Next, epistemology. Epistemology is about how researchers obtain knowledge or understand reality. There are several approaches. For objectivism, where the researchers must be neutral and not influenced. Second, constructionist, where knowledge is formed through interaction between the researchers and the subject. And the subjectivism, where knowledge is based on individual expression and perspective.
This section discusses three main aspects: axiology and relationship between physiology and research methodology and research paradigms. First, axiology focuses on the role of values in research. There are two main perspectives. In the positivist paradigms, research is expected to be value-free. Researchers must remain objective and avoid personal bias, and rely on measurable data such as surveys or statistical analysis. In contrast, in qualitative and critical approaches, values cannot be separated from research. Researchers acknowledge their perspective and, in some cases, actively support social change. For example, self-participatory research with communication. Second, the relationship between ontology, epistemology, axiology, and methodology. Ontology refers to the nature of reality, epistemology to how knowledge is obtained, axiology to values, and methodology to research methods. These four elements are interconnected. For this sense, if we believe that reality is objective and singular, we tend to use quantitative methods. However, if we see reality as complex and subjective, qualitative methods are more appropriate. The key point is that research method must align with our philosophical assumption. Third, research paradigms. A paradigm is a fundamental framework that guides the entire research process, from understanding problem to selecting method and interpreting finding. There are three main paradigms. First, positivist, which focuses on objective data, measurement, and generalization. Second, interpretative, which emphasizes meaning, human experience, and social context. Third, critical, which aims to promote social change and address inequality. Finally, the positivity paradigm is explained in more detail. Its acceptability means principle, objectivity, the researchable must remain neutral. Measurability, where data must be quantifiable, and replicability, meaning that research results should be considered when research study is based on particular paradigms. And that paradigm shapes how researchers understand problem, collect data, and draw conclusions.
Okay, so in this slide, we talk about positive in public administration. Positive is a research approach that focuses on number, data, and object measurement. It is commonly used to evaluate government performance and public policies. The methods are quantitative, like surveys, experiment, and statistical analysis. The advantage is the data can be compared across region and time, so it helps policymakers make better decisions. For example, researchers can measure public satisfaction or analyze the quality of public service. Next, we have the interpretive paradigm. This approach focuses on understanding people's experience, not just number. It believes that social reality is shaped by meaning, language, and interaction. So instead of asking how much is it asks what does it mean. It also considers social and cultural context, and researchers are actively involved in the process. The theory is also about from real data in the field. Next slide. In practice, interpretive research is asked to understand how police work in real life. Some methods include phenomenology, ethnography, grounded theory, and case studies. Phenomenology focuses on people experience, while ethnography studies culture in organization. Ground theory about new theory, and case study analyzes specific cause in depth. Data is collected from interview, observation, and discussion. Now, let's move to the critical paradigm. This approach is not only about understanding, but also about change society. It focuses on issues like inequality, injustice, and power imbalance. Important figures include Habermas, Freire, Horkheimer, and Foucault. Their main idea is a challenge unfair system and improve society. The next, critical paradigm. Finally, the critical paradigm in practice. This approach is asked to analyze and critique unfair public policies. Methods include participation research, discourse analysis, and the feminist research. This method involve the community, especially marginalized group. Example include analysis government policies, criticizing corruption, and supporting public participation. So overall, this paradigm aims to create real social change.
Of three research paradigma, each of the three paradigma has its own strength and limitation. The choice of paradigma is not determined by which is more correct, but rather by the fit between the research question, objective and philosophical assumption. Understanding the difference and intersection between these three paradigma is a fundamental competency for any public administration research. For further detail, please see the PPT that has been presented. Next, method and relevance in public administration. Contemporary research development and court research to move beyond a single paradigm. The method approach and mere give us a response to the limitation of each paradigm, combining the power of extensive measurable quantitative data with the depth of qualitative understanding. In public administration, methods are often used to gain a more complete and comprehensive picture of complex public policy phenomena. One sequential explanatory, quantitative first, qualitative to explain the numerical finding in depth, quantal exploratory, quantitative to qualitative first, test on a wider scale, concurrent triangulation, quantitative and qualitative approach work together, integrating finding for cross-validation and a comprehensive picture. Next, implication of philosophy and paradigm in state administration. A thorough understanding of research, philosophy, and paradigm is not merely abstract theoretical knowledge, it has real and immediate implication for how public administration should design, conduct, and report their scientific research. Without a clear philosophical foundation, research becomes incoherent and epistemologically unjustified. One clarity of research position, two methodological coherence, three academic contribution, research relevancy, ethical implication, academic contribution, and practical relevance. Relevant for public administration student. As a public administration student, an understanding of philosophy and research paradigm is an invaluable intellectual capital in my academic and professional journey. The three paradigms, positivistic, interpretive, and critical, each after an unique lens for analyzing complex issues in government, public policy, and public governance. Positivist suitable for national scale policy influencing research, public service index measurement, bureaucratic reform performance analysis, correlation study of decentralization and local government quality, interpretive suitable for understanding policy influence and third level bureaucracy, and critical suitable for analyzing policy gap and discrimination is public service, encouraging citizen participation in development planning, creating power relation in civil servant recruitment.
Well, here is a shorter version of the conclusion. Research must have a strong scientific foundation, ontology, epistemology, and axiology to ensure clear direction and meaning. The cause paradigm guides the entire research process with positivist, interpretive, and critical approach complementing each other. The quality of research depends on the alignment between assumptions, predict, methods, and analysis to product valid and meaningful result. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.